Okay, well, hi everybody. This is the real start of this podcast.
No, it's not. Let's get more energy in that.
Okay, so we were going right. All right.
I can't.
Dropped another.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to week 5 of the Waterboys podcast. We are going to break down how our respective NFL teams are doing in week 5 of the NFL. So, Ben, do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah, the Eagles, like I said last week, still undefeated, and I feel still undefeated. The Rams are a good team. They're great coached, and Cooper Kupp was a problem for the secondary, but yeah, I still feel undefeated, and I don't think they've looked nearly as good as the Niners, which scares me a little bit, but I think they're a pretty clear option for like second best team in the league, or just that tier below the Niners.
Are those the last 2 undefeated teams?
Yeah, they
so.
are. Yeah.
Would you say, I mean, it's not bad to not peak early. You could say the Niners are arguably peaking early.
Yeah, I wonder about us peaking later, though, because really we have a first-time offensive coordinator, play caller, and
Who is it?
Charles Johnson. Yeah.
Do you still believe in Sirianni? I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh,
5-0.
yeah. Sirianni's great.
What do you think about Sirianni, Tim?
I think he's a good coach. I feel like there's nothing you can really go against him with. Like, he lost the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
he won a lot of games up to that, and he hasn't lost since. So,
You like his personality?
I mean, it's fine. I don't know. I don't
As somebody
notice
who's
him too much. He's not too loud, I don't think. He's not like one of the clown coaches. He's just kind of there.
I think the personality of head coaches around the league gets overplayed in terms of like its importance. It doesn't matter
really
all
doesn't.
that much.
I really like Mike McDaniel, though. His personality.
I don't.
I like-
he's just,
Is it
Chiefs.
I mean, it's
because
funny. I appreciate him as like a meme, but
Yeah.
like,
I think the fact that he's a meme and such a great offensive mind is awesome.
I think
Yeah.
it's funny, and like for the regular season it'll be good, but like then just all the stuff he comes around with in the regular season will just come back in the postseason, and it'll be like, look how confident this guy was, and then just all these posts will be made once they lose in the playoffs.
Are you saying that as an upset Patriots fan?
No, it's so over. It's never been more over than it currently is.
In what sense? Like, are you ready to call for the firing of who?
He gets it. He gets the job till he wants to retire. That's how it goes. If you win 6 Super Bowls in 20 years, you get 20 more years of
That's fair.
leeway.
He's
I
like the
that
Phil
outlook.
Jackson of
That's how
football.
I appreciate that outlook, because I
Like,
think
you
a lot of
can't. What do you? If you fire him after 3 years, I mean, it's not even his coaching has been bad. It's just his team building and general managing. Like, the team is just so bad. There's nothing there. Like, especially offensive.
What do you mean? You got J.C. Jackson back.
Yeah, that's he's our corner 1 right now, and then Miles Bryant's our corner 2, who might be the worst cornerback of all time. So
How's that one edge rusher you guys took in the draft? He looked pretty good early on.
Keon White, he's been
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, just I don't know. If I'm being honest, I only watched like until they were down 21-0, and then the rest of it.
I mean,
was
I don't blame
blur.
you.
Last 2 weeks, I haven't watched the second half of either of those games because there's been no need to.
What's your biggest
Doom and gloom.
gripe with Mac as a quarterback?
I mean, like, he can't get out of the pocket, and when you have a bad offensive line, that's kind of tough. You kind of need to do that. So I really want him to be good. If like they have a good system around him with a good O line and receivers that can get open. That's the main thing. The receivers are bad. Like Juju's wide receiver 1, or Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae
in
Parker.
2019, that sounds like an awesome receiver.
It really does.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not 2019. And thing that's tough is on third downs, which we have a lot of. Instead of trying just to get the yardage, it's always like a jump ball straight to Devontae Parker, who he's tall, and I don't think he's won a jump ball this year, so that's kind of tough. Yeah, it's not looking good for me or my Pats.
Who is your favorite player?
On this team right now, it's tough.
You can go with the injured one, too.
I'd go Ramondre Stevenson, the running back. He's been good. Not as good as he was last year, but he's still pretty good.
You like Judon?
Yeah, he's great, but he's out for the year, which kind of stinks. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to, segue into how good my life is.
Yeah, no, you're great. I kind of brought it all down, but
no, yeah, but
that's
life, life as a Lions fan is pretty good,
Look at you.
But at the same time, man, I have seen it all crumble so fast. But I don't know.
Are you in unfamiliar territory? Are you
Very,
unsteady?
Very. I've been
Same.
telling people.
I feel you.
You're unsteady.
we're
You don't know
both
what
in
to
very
do.
Unfamiliar territory. But like, I'm in a group chat with my brother and his friends, and they always they're very pessimistic because they're like 30-year-olds, so they've been around for a while. So like they're talking. So they're like, today's conversation was centered around J-Mo not doing crap in the first game and Jared Goff not being elite. And I'm like, why? Why are we talking about this? Like, we're 4-1. We beat the Packers in Lambeau. We beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Like, just be happy. Like, you've been so unhappy for so long, you just want to be unhappy. I'm like, just choose to be happy. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Because the Lions look good. This is maybe the best defense. I mean, it's 5 weeks. I don't know. How many weeks would you say you can get in before you're like, okay, I know what my team is?
I think after 4 is the real measuring point. I feel like 4 is like you can have something or you don't, but then like you can flip it like the Bengals just flipped it. And I think they're going to be more the team that we saw this week than the first 4.
That's the thing.
I think week 5 is the one where it's like, oh, this is what it actually is.
There's also like the Lions last year. What did they start?
1-6.
1-6, yeah. And then you have that second half of the year where they basically can't lose a game. So I don't know if you ever get to a point in the NFL where you're like, yeah, I know what this team is. It's your week-to-week matchups and
injuries. One injury and your season's done.
That's
true.
Like, I mean,
factor in. I mean, everyone in the NFL is dealing with injuries. Every single team is banged up. So
that's what I love about
it's about having depth and being able to bring guys in, and that's some of the Lions have a good OC and a good DC, so they should be able to fill guys into spots. But yeah, some of those spots that they're thin at, I would say defensive secondary, linebacker.
But I mean, I think it's thin now. It's secondary specifically. It's thin now, but like going into the year, the whole conversation was about how much depth there is. But if you look at it, it's kind of living up to expectations to where, like we were saying, like we have so many guys to where even if 1 or 2 playmakers go down, we have guys, Tracy Walker, Jerry Jacobs, that can play high-level ball.
Jerry Jacobs is like the worst corner in the NFL this year. He's been
3 picks, baby.
He's been targeted more than any other cornerback because offenses are like, yeah, that's the guy we're going to pick on all game long. And he's allowing like a 65% completion rate. So
3 picks in the last 2 weeks, Ben.
Yeah, no, he made some good interceptions, but I mean, come on, we're not gonna sit here and act like interceptions.
No, he's not a great corner, but he's getting the job
determining
done.
Whether a defensive back is good.
No, but he's getting the job done, is he not?
Not consistently. He's making some good plays and getting some interceptions, but he's in terms of like his play-by-play ability to play, it's not up to.
I say
NFL
the
level.
Seattle game he got picked on a lot, and
it's every week.
I don't know.
He's the most targeted corner in the NFL.
It's every week, but it's like we won by 21 points. So I'm not buying it that it's a huge problem right now. Like in the first half, it's not like it's ever like.
I think it can be a huge problem when you go up against elite receivers,
like Yousef,
like it was with DK Metcalf.
Exactly. And do you think? Did you watch the game on Monday at all? The Packers game against the Raiders?
Yeah.
Packers did not look good. Does that kind of take any value away from the Lions game at Lambeau where it's, the Packers aren't as good as, I mean, it is the Packers and it is Lambeau, but they're not the same old team, and that win isn't as big as you thought it would be.
It's not
right after.
I think that was the win that made it the not same old team. I think we put the exclamation mark on it. Like I think before that, Packers fans would have told you like they probably won in that game thinking they had a chance, but I think we kind of just, I think we brought that team into reality and showed them how bad they really are. I don't think I didn't think beating them was like a look at us like we're the top dogs now, but it's like it's the first divisional test of the season at their house. You know, historically they smack us. So it was nice to see it.
I know it's 5 games in, but Coast is pretty much clear in that division. You guys are up, what, 2
That's what I'm
games
saying, though.
now?
I've seen it. Like, I've seen Aaron Rodgers. I know he's not here anymore, but he haunts me. Like, I remember him saying relax and running the table and completely, like, destroying my we were 2 games up with them, I think, with, like, 6 games left in 2011 maybe or 2014. And same thing. They just relax, runs the table, and then they beat us out for the division. So, I mean, Coast is clear, but, I mean, man, like, I pray that everything stays on course. Like, but I'm not, Ben's right, though. Jerry Jacobs isn't a high-caliber corner, and if we do run into teams with 2 elite receivers, we're going to run into a little bit of trouble. But I think, and I'm hoping that he gets better week by week, because he's still relatively young, undrafted free agent. So, I don't know. And I like the compete he brings.
I don't think the Lions are bad. I just want to temper expectations a little bit, because they haven't, they have a good win in against Kansas City, but Kansas City isn't kicking the doors down this year. They're not playing all that well against the rest of the league.
Yeah, like that Vikings game was very close when it really shouldn't.
I mean,
have been.
Yeah.
Ben, the Eagles maybe need to temper expectations as well if that's the case.
Eagles are being good teams.
Yeah, and they've already proven themselves. The Lions haven't.
They
proven
went to the
themselves.
Super Bowl
Right,
last year.
but
The Lions did not make the playoffs.
Listen,
No
you
matter-
guys, I
no,
feel
They had a
attacked
good
right
second
now.
half, but they went 9.
We're 4-1 right now,
8-9.
and we're gonna now I'm
They were
putting my
9.
foot down.
Or
We're
was it
gonna
9-8?
Was it 9?
we're balling out. Give us our flowers.
We're balling out.
Okay. I mean, who's
giving out
is-
flowers
yeah.
after week 5? Let's
No,
not
but
do
I
that.
just asked you guys. I just asked you guys how many wins until I need to feel good about my team.
I think you can feel good about them, but I think you can also maybe be like the other 30-year-olds in the group chat and be maybe a little cautious.
No,
'Cause
but I think
there are-
right now we're the 3rd best team in the NFC.
That's fair. 'Cause
So,
especially with
Would you rather be optimistic or pessimistic?
Optimistic. I'm always a half glass full.
I think even if you're the 3rd, well, I guess your expectations right now are what? Make a playoff game and win that one playoff game.
yeah,
So then, you can be.
Sure.
Though they are on pace for that.
I'm not saying Super Bowl yet.
Then
No.
so yeah, the Lions are on pace for your expectations right now.
Okay, and
That would be like a Super Bowl. for me, bro. That would be. I'd be so happy, man.
okay, and then I think the most talked about game this week was the 49ers and the Cowboys. So what was your opinion on that game? Because there's a lot of memes that came out of that. And there were a lot of like video of Cowboys fans crying in the stand.
That's pretty funny.
I think I've said it every single time that we've talked about the Niners on this show. It's the 49ers are a buzzsaw. They're the best team in the league, and it's not particularly close. Dallas had some pretty fraudulent wins. I'll just say they beat the New York teams, and they lost to Arizona. And who was their 3rd win? Patriots. Yeah. So
they might not be a good team.
Yeah, they beat 3 pretty terrible teams, or teams that aren't playing well at all so far. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals, who are presumably tanking for Caleb Williams. And,
I'm not buying that though.
Well, the front office wants to lose. Gannon doesn't.
Right.
And then they got stomped by the best team in football and beat at the line, beat on routes, just out-schemed offensively. The 49ers are good, and they are the one team that scares me as an Eagles fan, and I think every fan base should be pretty scared of the 49ers this year.
They are scary, but
Can they play each other in a Super Bowl, or are they in the
Nope,
same?
NFC.
NFC.
Yeah.
Okay.
what's it called?
Last year's NFC
I was
Championship
gonna say I'm
matchup.
pretty sure they played each other.
Yeah,
I never am gonna believe in the freaking Cowboys until they actually do. Like until they win the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna believe in them.
America's team.
Yeah, they're always the same team. Like this is their low spot, and then they'll probably win 4 straight, play pretty well. People will buy in, and then they'll kind of coast into the playoffs and then lose.
Probably lose at home to the hot wild card teams.
Actually, no, because they'll be a wild card because Philly's going to win that division.
That's a good point.
They'll very likely be a playoff team.
They could get stomped by the 49ers again.
They could be the first. I think if the Lions are looking at potential first-round matchups, I know it's week 6. We're going into week 6.
That would be such a good retribution.
It's probably between Cowboys, Rams, and Seahawks.
Yeah, and I would want the Cowboys or the.
I think the Seahawks are the one you want the least because they have proven that they can beat you.
Rams,
but then again, the Rams, Stafford in Ford Field.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Oh
cool.
my gosh, that would suck.
The Lions.
That would suck.
That would suck.
I don't know if
that would be awesome.
I don't know if they do play the Rams this year, but
we don't.
That secondary going up against Kupp.
You guys play the
Nakua, and
Chargers.
Atwell, I would not believe in it. I think the Rams would win that game and win it by probably a lot.
I don't think our secondary is like that much of a thing. I don't think it's that big of a concern.
If it stays how it is, like if Sutton and Mosley aren't your CB1, CB2,
Mosley's out. He
problems.
tore his ACL.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't think it's a problem though.
Surtain could be out there. I think.
Yeah, I think we could. I think we're buyers at the deadline too. I think
even less than that. Just like replacement level cornerbacks is really all you need.
Take J.C. Jackson off your hands. No, I don't. I'm not. Man, concern is not in the front of my view right now. I'm just living on top of cloud 9.
Okay.
But the Cowboys suck. Let me put that out there.
Okay, and well, we're gonna transition to playoff MLB talk because we're in the midst.
It's 1-0 Atlanta right now.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
What is
sorry,
this?
Ben.
What is the
That was a playoff
current
score.
state of the series right now?
Okay, so I think the biggest surprise that just happened yesterday was the Rangers swept the Orioles, and the Orioles had like a record season this year, and
For them.
for them, they had a record season. And I don't know, as a Dodgers fan, I get flashbacks to when we won like 120 plus games and we still lost the first round. And I was like, what's the point?
I mean, when was the flashbacks to? Yesterday? Like that's what's
No,
going on right now, right?
It's literally every year. It's every year. As a Dodger fan, I don't.
Though?
In 2020. And that was
that was a
literally
little fluky
because the reason why it was good is because they cut short how long the playoff series are, so they didn't have to like.
You guys didn't have a chance to choke.
That's what I mean.
Well,
I literally call them the chokers.
And they've choked in both.
I call them the
games so
chokers.
far this
I
year.
don't think it's. I think it might just be fans and pressure.
Yeah.
Is LA just? Do they have bad fans? Is that what it is?
I don't think
No,
they
they
about
they
it,
have great
I think
fans.
baseball
they
fans is
might have
probably their
bad
best
fans.
fans. I don't
No,
think they have good fans for
they
other
have-
stuff.
Bad fan base.
Really?
I
Did you
think
just say
so.
that?
They come late. They don't, and then the Dodgers don't perform in front of them.
I don't have.
I disagree
what's
with
the
that,
reason
but
it's gonna be a good-
okay. As someone
what
who
cause
goes
is a
to
good
Dodger
thing?
games quite a bit, every time I'm home in the summer, I go to Dodger games, and I can tell
I'm
you
sure
it's
they're
Do
pretty
you show
lit.
up late?
No, my
I'm sure
dad
they're
shows up
nice
early.
people.
Huh?
We show up early. We're getting the free
But
stuff.
you gotta
Right,
compare
but is
it
the
to like,
stadium full in the first inning?
It's
No.
pretty full.
Lie.
No, it's pretty full. I'm not gonna lie. That stadium holds over 60,000 people.
Does
Yeah.
it fill 60,000?
But it doesn't. Not on a nightly basis. It doesn't.
I mean,
You
not
know
on
what
a
I mean?
weeknight game, but if you go on like what stadium fills out
Most
on a
The
week
Philadelphia Phillies.
Fenway does.
Oh, okay, Ben.
I think I can't
a lot
have.
of
I don't have
guys
room to
do.
talk as a Tigers fan right there, but as like I could see where they're coming from because both of their fan bases do come pretty hard for their baseball team.
They fill the ballpark.
Okay,
and
but
they
like
do
you
it.
can't argue
don't.
with the Red Sox. That's like an OG team right there.
Right, you said it yourself. You can't really.
The
Yeah, so
Dodgers
that-
are
And
as
their
much-
stadium's
Wait,
small.
Guys,
It
guys.
is.
Yes. The average,
it
you
is.
have one
Yeah,
of
it
the
is.
smallest MLB
Yeah.
stadiums in
Yeah.
the league.
The Dodgers are just as old as the Red Sox,
They just moved.
The Brooklyn
just-
They
Dodgers.
just moved, I know.
but they had the first stadium on the West Coast, and like
I mean,
these are both very established fan
You guys have
bases.
good Lakers. Lakers fans are real. I don't even know if I could say that,
Are they?
bro.
They,
Because
like,
I think half of Lakers
throw
fans came after
Westbrook
LeBron
out.
came.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
like
no.
to say the Lakers, after Kobe left, the fan base just went.
LA might be the
In the
worst.
trash.
Worst
city.
sports
Yeah.
city, yes.
They have
so
like,
many
who's a
teams.
Clippers fan?
Who's an Angels fan?
Who's a Ducks
Fake
fan?
fans.
No,
fake
because
people.
hold your horses on
Southern California.
the Angels.
North
California
The
is
Angels
real.
stuff, because there's a video that I want Ben to react to, and it's on the whole Angels situation
What is
that's happening.
is
Like,
Shohei leaving?
Most likely.
Yeah, probably.
Where is there teams that are?
I would say the Dodgers or the Giants are
Dodgers,
the strongest
Giants, Boston.
possibilities.
Why?
Maybe.
Why doesn't anybody want to come to Detroit?
Well, Detroit's never had a Japanese player,
Really?
so he wouldn't come and be the
Really?
first.
And I'm
That's a
pretty
good-
There's
sure
not much of a Japanese community. in
I'm pretty
Detroit
sure
either,
Shohei
so
wanted to play in Anaheim is because Anaheim has a high Asian population.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
that's important to Shohei and to a number of other Japanese players that have come
Why
over. and that's
haven't the
why
Tigers ever had a Japanese player?
and that's why you traditionally see them.
Have you ever
playing-
had a Korean player either?
Have they?
Huh?
Have they ever had a Korean player?
I don't know. But what I was saying was, there's much larger Japanese populations on the West Coast, and that's why you traditionally see Japanese players more inclined to sign with West Coast teams.
That's closer too.
And Shohei, I believe, in the past has said that he didn't want to leave the West Coast, which is why when most people make their lists, they mostly fill it out with like the Giants, Dodgers, Mariners, maybe just off the Ichiro factor. Yeah,
I know
the Red Sox do also have a history of signing Japanese
Yeah,
players.
that's the big thing. That's because location is against them, obviously being the furthest most east team. But right now they have Yoshida. They're going to go after Yamamoto, who's going to be the number one Japanese free agent who's coming from Japan this year. So they're kind of building a base and trying to get a recruiting pitch together. This doesn't matter as much about like New Balance in Boston, but so like there's a couple connections for Shohei to
Red
hopefully
Sox
end up.
have Yu Chang too, don't they? The
They do. Chinese Taipei.
Taipei. Yeah.
Yeah. But who's playing the Astros right now? The Twins?
Yes.
Okay. So the Twins have to show up tonight. Because I really hate the Astros. So
That's tough. They're winning.
no,
Yeah,
if they win
thanks.
another World Series, I'm literally out here like, what is with
Well,
Houston?
It's just the
What is in the water?
ALDS for now. So
Yeah, I don't think
What is in the water in Houston?
I think Houston. I think Texas. The Rangers. I like them coming out of the. No matter which team it is, I think they have the timely hitting. Like Corey Seager is so good in the postseason,
We love him.
and just like they have the pitching too. He's probably one of the best postseason pitchers in the last decade, especially for like what he does in the regular season, where he's like an average pitcher, and then he just soars in the postseason.
what I like about Texas is they kind of do remind me of the Phillies because it's a lot of guys that have played in a lot of postseasons in their career. It's not a lot, there's obviously youth on both teams, but it's a lot of veterans who have played in the postseason, been on that stage before, hitters and pitchers. And when you get teams like that, I just think the focus and everything that you need to really hone in the playoffs that maybe those younger teams like the Orioles struggled with, you don't see that from these teams, and you see them really come together and maybe play above expectations in the postseason. So yeah, the Rangers I think are like that. The Astros obviously are used to it too.
So if the Rangers and the Astros end up playing each other, who do you think is going to come up on top?
Well, yeah, Tim was just saying the Rangers.
Yeah,
I would tend to agree with that. Maybe in like 6 games.
I think it could be a really good series.
Yeah.
I would like to see a good series because all of them so far have been pretty bad. This Philly Atlanta one's kind of the first one to deliver on anything really.
Yeah, it's the only 1-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a Corey Seager fan,
Or well,
I will be rooting for the Rangers if the Dodgers don't pull through. So
Houston, Minnesota was
that's
1.
1-1.
It was 1-1.
It was
It's
1-1.
2-1 now. So yeah, but
Right.
I think that but like even that though it's 1-1, I feel like everyone kind of knows Houston's gonna just come away with it. This one is gonna go the distance as Castellanos with a deep drive to left to make it a 1-1 game.
Did
That's
he?
crazy. Yeah,
Let's
as
go.
I was saying that.
I just have.
I
don't
thought
have
you were
the
making a joke about
No, I
that
wasn't.
one
He
guy.
actually, Nick Castellanos actually just had a deep drive to left field while I was making that statement. So
jokes write
that game is
themselves.
tied up. It's just a good series, and I hope it continues for the next 3 games.
Is Castellanos still like a superstar? Was he ever a superstar?
He's not superstar level. I'm pretty sure his numbers this year were like 270 with about 30 home runs, maybe a little under.
He's a good player.
Is he one of the best
Very
Tigers in
solid.
recent history? Give me like a top 5 Tigers on different teams, if that makes sense.
Well, Before we do that,
top 5 what?
Sorry.
the other series.
Yeah, Yousef, stay on topic.
I don't know how many series there are.
L.A. and Arizona.
I don't. Okay, I'm just gonna make this rant real
Yeah.
quick because I want to rant
Yeah, go for it.
because as someone who's been watching the Dodgers since I was a child and growing up in the 2010s, they had a phenomenal team. Couldn't quite do it. Couldn't quite make it to the end. They did it in 2020, and I highly believe it's because the season was cut short.
Fluke.
Yeah, the season was cut short, so they didn't have to like.
Disneyland title.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like have to like, 2017 I think was the year they played the Astros, and that's a very controversial year because, in all honesty, I think they should have won, but the whole cheating scandal happened, and it was like, yeah. But I literally call them the chokers because they have a phenomenal regular season, and then the minute they make it to the playoffs, they don't know how to play playoff baseball. And it just doesn't compute. Like the coaching, the managing, the everything is just like, I literally was so angry with Clayton Kershaw the first game that I literally was like, not to be mean, but I was like, I hope he feels bad because he's probably not getting signed
I'm
after.
Sure he does.
He's probably not getting signed after this year again. So,
Well, not by the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to give him.
Yeah.
I think Texas is probably going to get him. But yeah, no, he's obviously he hasn't held up in the postseasons, but like even this year he had like a quiet like 3 ERA. He's been really good.
He's still one of the greatest pitchers of all
Yeah,
time.
it's crazy how in the postseason
he just doesn't show up.
something doesn't translate.
He just doesn't show up. I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand. I'm just like,
It's just some people have it and some people don't. It's truly it's honestly one of the greatest things about sports. Because every year you watch the regular season and you think, oh, this is how it's going to go. And it almost never goes the way you think it's going to go. And that's why you watch the postseason.
Yeah.
Not even that. Just imagine
Same.
how many players are elite in practice and can't turn it on when the lights are on.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
probably a lot of dudes.
I think
Same
it was
team,
last
same
year
players.
they played the Giants in the wild card, and that was like one of the best series I've ever watched, and it was phenomenal. Like that was a real playoff hunt, and they ended up winning, and then they ended up losing to I think it was the Braves, the next series, and I was like, you got me watching like all hyped up, and he ended up like getting swept by the Braves. So I was like, phenomenal. So I've learned to not have expectations for the Dodgers. So if by the time this podcast comes out, they end up losing that series, I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to be sad. But it is what it
I'm
is.
not going to be mad. I'm going to be disappointed.
There's
Per
been-
usual, every year.
There's been a lot of talk about the new playoff format and whether it puts the top seeds at a disadvantage.
Well, I had to
because they
remind
have
myself that it's 5 games, and then it's 7. Like, I have to remind
well,
myself
it's 3 games, 5 games, and 7.
yeah, 3, 5, like, I don't really understand that. To me, it should all be the same.
So
like-
yeah, well, it used to be the DS was best of 5, and then you had the wild card game get added, and now you have 2 3-game wild card series or best of 3 wild card series. But the issue people are having with it is that you basically take a week off if you are the 1 or 2 seed, which in a lot of other sports, that's nice, less playoff games. But in baseball, you can lose that rhythm.
They haven't had
so
a week
easily.
off since, you don't even get a week off for the All-Star break.
You haven't had a week off.
That's true. You get only half a week off.
And if you're a good team, half of your best players are going to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Nobody doesn't play for a week from they play baseball straight from February to now. And then they're just like, oh yeah, take a week off. That's got to mess with teams, especially when the team you're going against is on fire.
Right, and that's another aspect of it is the wild card series have been horrible.
Yeah.
There's I think only 2 or 3 out of the 12, 14, whatever it is, completed series that have not been sweeps.
Yeah, there wasn't even a game 3 day.
This year there were no game 3s.
And they have an extra day slotted just for game 3, so it was just no baseball on that night. And then there was no baseball the next day for a travel day. So it was kind of tough for the planning of the postseason. I kind of there was an idea floated out that you keep the same format, but instead of a 3-game wild card, it's a 1-game wild card, and you go every day. There's a wild card, a do or die elimination game every single day of the week, and then you get to the DS. It's unfair for the one team that wins their division.
Right.
But I kind of like it.
Yeah. I think part of it, I don't hate that idea, but I think part of it was part of instituting the new playoff system was just to grow the number of playoff games because those are generating
just money.
the
They
most
won't.
revenue.
Realistically, they won't shrink it just because this is the biggest moneymaker for MLB because they don't get the same primetime numbers for a Sunday night game compared to football, so they need more postseason games. So.
Very interesting. So, who do you think has the best chance of winning the whole thing?
Right now?
As of right now.
Right now, Texas feels safe because they're already in the CS. Yeah. My pick for NL team that's looked the best is still the Phillies, but I think whoever it is, Braves or Phillies, is probably going to beat the Diamondbacks, but I don't think anyone pegged the Diamondbacks to make the championship series either.
I mean,
I'm just saying that the Diamondbacks are going to beat LA too. But.
It's crazy because they only won 84 games, penciling them in a 3-game series. If this was June and it was a 3-game series between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, nobody would blink an eye if the Dodgers won all 3.
Yeah,
but now 100%. That's what they have to do in October. They have to go in and beat the Dodgers. Or the Dodgers have to beat the Diamondbacks 3 straight times, twice on the road. I mean, if it's a team to do it, it would be them.
Yeah, but their pitching is so much worse than it has been in years past.
It's very chaotic.
Yeah.
But also, now we're getting to where pitching kind of evens out, I feel like, in the bottom of the rotation. I think, especially in the postseason, neither of these guys tonight are going to have a long leash.
Yeah,
it's going to be get 3 innings and then go to the bullpen.
Pitching.
It's Lance Lynn and Brandon Pfaadt. So I think that's an advantage for the Dodgers. Lance Lynn's been pretty good since he got to the Dodgers. I actually like the Dodgers tonight. I think they'll extend it one more day at least, but I don't know what's going to happen after that.
Well, okay. I have a reaction video for you, Ben, because I feel like this topic, since you're a Phillies fan,
Is it this TikTok?
Yeah. Has heavily to do what we were talking about with the Angels. But in the terms of comparing Bryce Harper to Mike Trout.
Not that I don't like Bryce. I love Bryce as a player. I love how he has matured. But to watch Bryce Harper live out what should be Mike Trout's dream.
I don't know. I'm 10 seconds in. I think this is really stupid.
He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yeah, the Phillies would have loved to sign his
entire
the
career
video
in
I'm
Las Vegas.
reacting
Proud
to,
to stay loyal his
some
entire
guy on
career.
TikTok saying that,
He probably could
you
have
know,
asked
it's
for a
making him
trade.
sad
At
seeing
some point in
Bryce
his career,
Harper
he
live
had
out
to
Mike
stay
Trout's
loyal to
dream,
LA, and he's still in
being
Orange
a
County,
Philadelphia
and they have not
legend.
rewarded him with
Because
anything.
Trout's from
Bryce Harper signed a $330
is it
million
Camden, New Jersey?
contract to be
No,
the
it's
franchise
Middleville
in
or Medford
Philadelphia.
or something
Yeah,
like
What
that.
has he
something like
done?
New Jersey.
Arizona
Um,
World Series last
yeah,
year.
something-
Another playoff spot here
Some
in
part of New Jersey.
2023.
But yeah,
Bryce
so
Harper is
he's
living out Mike
from
Trout's
like
dream in Philadelphia.
sort of the Philly area. Grew up a Philly sports fan. I think it's a stupid argument because Mike Trout's making like $450 million. So I really don't care because like
Yeah.
they signed contracts in the same offseason. They were free agents in the same offseason. If Mike Trout wanted to come to Philadelphia, he could have. And I think the Phillies would have paid him instead of Harper.
It definitely would have.
Yeah. But Trout didn't want to sign until after Harper signed so that he could guarantee that he made more money. And Harper signed with the Phillies. And I think it's a great decision for the Phillies to have signed Harper. Bryce Harper was my favorite player before he was a Philly, and so
He just hit a 3-run. Oh,
did he really?
he literally just hit a 3-run home run to put them up 4-1.
You talking
As
Bryce
you were
Harper?
finishing that.
Bryce Harper?
Yep.
Oh
full
my
home run, like,
gosh!
And this is
Third
what I
back.
mean. There's no. I don't think
Are you-
anybody.
but how do you feel about, like-
No. Let me finish. I don't think anybody in the Phillies fan base would trade Bryce Harper for Mike Trout, regardless of season-to-season numbers, because Bryce is the emotional centerpiece of this team. He is the locker room. He is the Phillies.
Wow. That was just.
That
he
was
has
great
the
timing.
He has the best swing in baseball right now.
He does. So
The
pretty.
pull home run.
So
oh,
pretty.
I
man.
just think it's kind of sad you'll never see him, Mike Trout, in a playoff situation.
We don't know that yet. I think I wouldn't
Angels
be.
could trade him.
Yeah, he
right?
could get traded.
Is this 10 years up? Because I know he signed 10 years. I
Oh
don't know
no,
how
he
far.
still has another like 6 or 7 on that contract. I
Yeah.
think.
Same length as Bryce's, or Bryce might have signed for like a couple more years, but basically they'll both be 40 by the time they're getting out of their contract.
They don't they don't seem the same age right now. It seems
No.
like Mike Trout's like so much like
Well,
it's just because he's been beat up and like he hasn't played as many games.
because didn't
recently.
they? Maybe I'm wrong here. Were they were the same draft?
They were the same draft. I don't think,
but Trout took like one more year to get to the majors.
maybe one, but
Yeah.
like they're the same. They're
Yeah.
at the same stage in their careers, but it just
Yeah.
feels like Trout hasn't had the same impact in the last couple of years as Harper has. Obviously, I think Harper's kind of taken that from Trout when it was about a 180, probably 6 or 7 years ago, where Trout was the golden boy, and Bryce Harper was like the bad boy who was throwing his helmet and
Yeah.
losing
Oh.
a bunch of games. But now it's
Yeah,
it's
he
the
was in
opposite.
he was in a losing situation, and then he moved teams, and now he's in a
yeah
winning situation.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay, well, moving on to Yousef's favorite topic. The NHL had their opening day happened yesterday. And I think the opening game was Chicago and the Penguins. Because that was heavily advertised on every single platform on the face of the planet because of Connor Bedard. So, Yousef, did you watch any of those games?
Yeah, that was the only game I watched, was the Penguins versus Blackhawks. I just kind of had it on as background noise while I was doing homework. It's really hard for me to really sit there and watch 60 minutes of hockey if it's not the Red Wings or Michigan State hockey, if I don't have a horse in the race. But, I mean, it was actually fun to watch. I think Bedard looked good. I mean, it's really hard for a 5'9" or 5'10" rookie to come in and really control the pace of the game for his team, and that's what he was expected to do, and that's pretty much what he did. I think he had an assist on the night, so he got his first point. I think it's just a start for him. I think it's, a little scary, the expectations they're putting on him, but I think the skills are there.
Is Detroit's opening game tonight?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, against a very good team in the Devils, but they don't
that's
scare
their opening
me.
game?
Yeah, they don't scare me. We beat them game 2 of I think it's easy to catch teams in the beginning of the season in the NHL.
Mhm.
And I think the Red Wings usually play good to start the year, and then it's just how long until they dwindle out. That's really been it the last 2 years. So I'm interested to see if they can push all the way to the postseason this year.
I have hope for you guys this year. I think the Red Wings will be good. It was a lot of fun last year when we went. I think they'll be definitely a fun team. I hope they crack in at the one of those 7 or 8 spots.
Bergeron and Krejci retiring makes life a little easier.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot easier. It's tough growing up with those guys. Having Marchand have the C is very cool. I think we're seeing the first game of that today.
Was there any question of whether he was?
Yeah, they were
McAvoy?
thinking maybe McAvoy, just because Marchand probably only has another 3 or 4.
And he's quite the problematic captain. But you can't give it to anybody else.
Like the guys in there love him.
Wait,
It's
why is he
kind of a
problematic?
Weird thing. Just
He's probably
his
the most
antics.
one of the most hated guys around the league. But I
I
agree
think-
with Tim, where it's like if he's in your locker room, I would love him.
I also
Okay,
think,
I've only ever seen. Maybe it's because
You
I've
ever
seen it
seen
from the
him-
Boston
Have you ever seen
perspective.
him lick the guy?
yeah,
No,
no,
I
I'm not,
haven't.
I'm not condoning any of the licking. Or
No, I
anything.
have
think-
not seen
I
that.
just think he's a good leader. He's been there for over a decade. Like,
What's that saying? All fair, love, war.
yeah,
So, like
yeah, I
that.
guess so. I mean,
Hey, bro.
hockey has
Hockey is a
different
tough
rules.
one to cross the line in. And
But yeah, I think they'll be good. They'll definitely regress. They won't have the best record of all time in the regular
that
season.
was crazy though.
Which
last
I also
year. That was
I don't
ridiculous.
need it because they didn't even win in the.
Before
You
last
You
year,
don't
I
want
was
the president's curse.
Yeah,
right?
I rather be like a
The
pesky
president's
5. Yeah, that's what it is. I rather be a pesky 5 seed and have Swayman get hot.
the most confidence I've ever had in a Red Wings team in my life was when we were a 7 seed in 2013 or 14, and we went in against the 2nd seed Ducks, took them to 7 games, beat them. And then the second series, we went against the number 1 seed Chicago, and that was like a loaded Chicago team with like Patrick Kane, Taze,
Yeah.
Sharp, Hossa, all those guys. We had them up 3-1, and then we sold it in
Brutal.
7 games. Lost in overtime. Cried my heart out. Then I told my mom, I was like, I'm not going to school tomorrow. I don't care. I'm not going. I went to school.
The day after the Phillies won the World Series, I was like up at like 6 a.m. Like, I'm so excited to go to school tomorrow.
No, yeah,
Go
winning
gloat
and
on all
going
my
to school would be lit.
7-year-old friends.
Oh, and were you in Philly at that time, or were you here?
No. I was here.
Or did you ever live in
I've
Philly?
I've never lived in Philly.
Just got ties.
Yeah, pops and all them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never got to celebrate because COVID. But
I mean, you got to see it though.
I guess
So
Do you guys-
celebrations are fun,
do you
especially
guys-
in the school. Yeah, the school days, because the best was, I guess,
You had a lot of these.
Yeah.
a
Well,
lot
tell
of-
me
You
about
had
your
a lot of
experience,
days.
Tim.
Basically, yeah, I'll go through it. Basically, the Friday before Martin Luther King Day would always be Patriots Day because it would always be the Friday before the AFC Championship, and for I think it was a 12-year stretch from basically when I was in like first grade to through high school, or through my sophomore year. They went to the playoffs every year, and that would be the AFC Championship game. Would always be
And they were probably in that, like, what, 10 of those years?
no, it was they
Yeah.
went to it every year.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
for a while I forgot what a first round loss was, and I never saw him miss playoffs until 2020, really, because I wasn't a fan during the torn ACL year because I was like 4. But
What was what's your favorite
my favorite team, that's a tough one.
team
Like
championship?
favorite year
Yeah.
for a run, that's a tough one.
I mean, like how did the Atlanta one
or
feel?
Atlanta one was
28-3.
good. It wasn't it actually wasn't good because you couldn't enjoy any. I never enjoyed that game.
You were stressed
was-
the whole time.
Yeah, I left the party I was at halftime.
Really?
I was that mad.
Oh man, how was that
I
getting
was-
home though?
I was just across the street. I was just, I just walked
No,
up.
but like, how was it? Like after you were at home, like
I
you
was
won. Like,
was standing up. Like,
what's the
entire fourth quarter.
celebration like? Is it like a jump around scream? Because I imagine I'd run out
Is-
into my
Yeah,
street with my
it's-
underwear.
I
is
did
every sport the same? Like,
The level. Boston
yeah.
has good sport fans.
well, I mean,
for all
like, have you
sports,
ever
though.
Have you ever gone to the Bruins
I've-
ones before?
Well, the Bruins only won in 2011. I was
Yeah.
only 7 then, so I haven't really celebrated the parade, but more like you watch the game, you celebrate, you go outside, yell, run around.
When's the
that
last
kinda
Red Sox
thing.
victory?
2018.
I was gonna say that was
yeah,
pretty.
it was-
I think that's the.
No, I think I'd probably start clothed, but I don't think I would be clothed by the end of my parade.
I
in the
did-
Are you a
street.
big David Ortiz fan then?
Oh yeah,
I
I love David Ortiz.
I did a underwear snow angel when the Eagles won.
Yeah, it just sounds right. It just sounds right. It's just something about it in your underwear. Because I could just imagine being so hot.
I like that you're like, I think ideally I would be in my underwear
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
go outside.
Right,
And I was
no.
like, yeah, no, that's exactly how I
You
handled
did
it.
You
Yeah.
did it.
Wouldn't it be freezing over
That's
there?
the point. You'd be
No.
so heated and like fired
Yeah, no,
up,
it was-
like you just
'cause it's
need
February.
it. You need to
So,
be. It's like when
it
you.
was snowing.
It's like when you throw like a hot
That's
coal.
for football. If you won for football,
hot Red Wings, that'd be the same.
Red Wings it would kind of
If
be
we won,
warmer.
like,
It would be warmer
If
because
we
it'd
won
be
like a
it would be
game
June.
7, no, I'm saying like warmer. Like I'm saying heat, like my body, like
Oh.
not the outside.
Oh.
Like Ben can relate when you were going in a game. Tim can relate too. When you're in a game like that and you're so into it, like you literally feel like the heart pounding, like you're sweating, like that's like a real. And then all like
Just like the athletes.
Yeah. Yeah.
we go through a lot.
Yeah.
We go through a lot, guys.
Mental stress. But back to the question, I think my favorite team probably didn't even win. Like the ones I remember the most are the ones that lose. Like
That's true.
2019 Bruins, that was a gut punch in Game 7 against the Blues. That was really tough. Or 2018 Eastern Conference Finals run for the Celtics going up against LeBron.
Do
when
you
it was like
know?
the baby Celtics.
Like in your heart deep down, like the games we've lost, the big games we've lost as like a Red Wings fan, like and a Lions fan, it's like almost deep in my stomach. I'm like, I feel this. Like I
Oh.
don't feel like we're coming out on top.
Yeah, you can tell like in the second quarter that you're like, oh no,
Something's wrong.
Boys don't have
it doesn't
today.
feel right. Like
yeah.
this feels like I'm gonna be
Disappointed
Yeah,
by
no,
the
it-
end of this.
Yeah, you can just tell.
Was the Atlanta game like that? Like, what are you thinking
Yes.
at halftime at that game?
You're thinking
What the heck are we doing? We just got embarrassed on a national level.
like Matt Ryan's not that good. What is going on? Like that's what you're thinking.
And is there hope in your heart?
Was I don't think there.
The
No, I think
phrasing
there
of that
was.
is so
I think
funny.
there was hope
It's some
because
hope in your heart.
25 points and a half is
It's
tough to
doable.
come back, but it's not mathematically impossible. I'm also someone who doesn't hold out hope until it's mathematically
I
impossible.
love that. I love that.
Like, yes, the Patriots are 1-4 right now.
but they're not mathematically out.
They're not mathematically out.
I was the
And
same way with the
there's-
Lions last year.
There's
And
a 5-game window where I think we can have a 5-game
Yeah.
win streak.
And
then
it-
we're
you're
5-4,
right.
like-
Anything's possible.
If there's a coach that can
Turn it
do
around.
it,
Why
like,
not
why are
us?
you not trusting Belichick,
Why
who's
not
been
us?
doing it right for the
and
last?
then we get hot, and then
4
we're a
years.
pesky
How
7
long-
seed.
How long
Why
did it
not?
take for the Dolphins to fizz out last year? Because they started hot last
It
year
was
too,
more
right?
of a
2-0 and had
Tua
has
injury.
concussion.
His
right?
second, they were fine after his. It was more his second one.
Yeah.
That's
The
when
Bo-
they-
the
that
Bengals
was
one?
like-
Because then they had to
that was
turn to because then
Christmas, right?
Teddy got hurt too, and they had to play
So
Skylar Thompson.
So that was like around like Thanksgiving.
No.
So
That's
they
why
weren't
they
a bad
struggled.
team. They just had. So
No,
I,
it was kind of like what happened to the 49ers. You know, they were down
Yeah.
to their third string quarterback.
but
who
the Dolphins
obviously
didn't
is
even
their
make the playoffs,
start-
did they?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah,
Who'd they
played
lose to?
Buffalo.
Oh, was it a
like
good game?
It was such a forgettable game.
The
yeah.
Buffalo murdered.
Oh,
You,
yeah.
you don't even remember it.
Yeah,
Skylar
no,
Thompson, the quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It was so like.
Can I have an Oreo,
why
by
are
the
we
way?
doing that? Yeah, you can
The
have.
same thing happened to San Francisco though last year, where they, you know, they're down to their third string quarterback, who yes is amazing, but then he gets hurt. They go to Josh Johnson. He gets hurt.
And they go to Christian McCaffrey.
They go to Christian McCaffrey. So it's like
They
they're
go
a
to
great
lefty
team.
Brock Purdy, yeah.
They just ran out of guys at the most important position on the field. So
Obviously, you never root for injuries, but like, how elating is that as a fan when you know you're winning the game? Like when you
So,
know.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good about winning that game with Brock Purdy playing quarterback. To date, it's still the only game that the Niners have lost that Purdy started,
Which is insane.
which is insane because he had to tear his UCL to get that win. Yeah, it is an interesting feeling because, you know, I hate seeing injuries in sports, and I hate that kind of thing. You also do feel as a fan like, well, we have a pretty good shot at winning if Christian McCaffrey's playing quarterback for them.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I also didn't want the narrative of like, oh, the Eagles didn't deserve this, you know?
Yeah,
that was in
that
the
was
back of my
floating
head
around,
too.
yeah.
Like
I mean, I feel like that stuff always kind of happens no matter what.
yeah. If you play an injured team, they're going to say like,
oh, they're
they
injured,
only
yeah.
lost cuz they're injured.
There's
so.
always going to be caveats in sports.
Yeah.
That's what makes it great, right? Yeah. You're always going to have to defend yourself even if you win a championship.
We're going to have to push our narratives and others have to push theirs.
Putting spin on things is
The Lions
the reason
could
why we do this.
Right, exactly.
the Lions could win like the most asterisk championship ever, and I would just be like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah, and that's your right.
Yeah.
Like that's
Is that what Astros
Like Mia
fans
with
did
their
after they won?
Disneyland World Series.
yeah.
Did Astro fans like say like, "Hey, we're sorry"?
No.
No, I mean, and
They
I don't
they
blame-
owned it though.
I don't
so.
blame them. I think that one kind of, if we want to really get deep into it, I think that the Astros just were the ones that really got caught. I think everyone did it.
Yeah,
Every
I mean,
single
it's
team did
pretty
it.
documented. The Red Sox were doing it too.
Well, the Red Sox were doing it. The Yankees were doing it.
I think
The Royals
yeah.
were doing it. But who's going to report on, the Kansas City Royals? That's not going to break any news. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
When did the Royals stop being sick? Because they were
Like,
sick
right
when I
after
was
they
growing
won.
up.
Right after they won,
yeah.
they went.
They won, and then they didn't re-sign Alex Gordon or Moustakis
Or
or
Lorenzo Kane.
Or
No,
Lorenzo.
I think they re-signed Gordon. They didn't.
they didn't re-sign Gordon. Gordon went somewhere else for like a year or two.
Oh,
yeah.
you're
Can
right,
we
he
do
did.
Is
like
it
a?
San Fran that he went to, or San Diego?
Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
San
go to
Diego,
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Can we do like a really obscure segment for 30 seconds where I name random teams that I can't think of one player and you guys just tell me the best player on that team?
Or the most random player. Yes, I
Or the
do
most
like this.
random
Yeah, I'll,
Okay, start with
It's
the
like
one we just
immaculate
talked
grid.
about.
Who?
The
Kansas City
Royals.
Royals?
Yeah.
Royals?
Who's the best player on the Royals
Bobby
right
Witt
now?
Jr. is the best
Salvador
player
Perez.
on
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
Royals.
I don't know
name
them,
players,
either
yeah.
of them.
Bobby's young, Salvy's old.
Let's go Tampa Bay Rays.
No
Ooh.
Kevin Kiermaier not there.
Their best player.
Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow. Yeah, let's
Their-
not mention
their
their
actual
no,
best
let's
player
not mention their
will be serving years in prison,
Yes.
likely.
so let's just see. Yeah, Tyler Glasnow.
I really
or
like.
Rosarena.
I really like Brandon Lau too.
I'm interested to see when the first name I will know will come up.
Okay,
Cleveland Indians.
they're the Guardians.
Oh,
They
oh,
do not exist.
cut that. Cut that, Mia.
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah,
Do you know Jose Ramirez?
Yes. Well,
Okay,
what about,
yeah, 'cause
is there
he's
another one too?
Jose
Didn't somebody-
Ramirez is a total Tiger killer. Like his numbers are so good
Yeah.
against.
Who
the Tigers.
stole a bunch of bases this year and like broke a record for it?
That's
Acuna.
Yes.
You're
He
thinking
plays
of
for the
Acuna.
Braves.
Okay, that's not an obscure team. That's a good team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got a couple more for you guys. Is Buster Posey still on the Giants?
No,
He retired, like,
many years ago.
At least 5
3
years
No,
ago.
3, yeah.
Who is on the Giants?
Jock Peterson's on the Giants.
Oh, I know him.
Um,
I used to really like Jock for some reason.
Arson
I
Judge.
loved him.
Arson Judge is on the yeah.
You guys
He's a
remember
giant.
the videos? Oh, what were they
no, wait,
called?
who's? Because Brandon Crawford just retired.
Yeah. Brandon Belt's not there.
Brandon Belt is a
Um,
Blue Jay or was a Blue Jay.
Logan. I like Logan Webb a lot.
Logan Webb's a heck of a.
He's really
pitcher.
good.
Now you guys give me a popular team, and I will name their best player.
For what?
Baseball.
All right, let's go New York Yankees.
Aaron Judge. Right?
Yeah.
Let's go New York Mets.
Syndergaard?
No.
No.
He's been on like 18.
He's like a reliever now.
Okay, give me a Bartolo Colon.
He was great.
He used to be.
He's like 50.
He used to be a Cleveland Indian, and he was a Cleveland Indian. Not a
No,
Cleveland
that's not gonna
Guardian.
help me. Just tell me.
Francisco Lindor.
Okay,
their
I know the name.
shortstop.
I know the name. New York Mets. Just one more team.
Dodgers.
Ooh, Mookie.
Yeah.
Mookie. Yeah.
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 Mookie?
He was on the
Mookie.
Sox, and
What's
then
his
he
last name?
Betts.
Okay.
What's his last
Yeah.
name?
Just making sure.
No, but I had a really question I wanted to.
Is there another Mookie out there?
No, I don't. No, he just wanted to make sure.
Oh,
I
just
did
wanted
it.
to
I
make-
was just testing.
What was I gonna say? Do you guys keep up with the UFC at all?
I do. I like the You don't know. I
We'll
do.
just talk about it for a second, but that's gonna be
Volk.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
crazy.
wild.
11 days notice. If he wins on 11 days notice, that's
Basically,
insane.
have you heard Islam Makhachev, Khabib's boy? Okay. Anyways, this guy's like undisputed.
You know,
one of
Chechen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dagestani. He's
Dagestani.
he's sick. He's wrestling. I don't think he's lost one fight maybe.
And it was didn't he lose to Volk?
Mm-mm.
No,
he won that one.
He won that one.
Yeah. But anyways, he was gonna fight this guy named Charles Oliveira, rematch. Gonna be a good fight. This guy
Looking
splits
for
his
it.
eye open, and now this guy who's like a beast. His name is Alexander Volkanovski. He used to be like a 200-pound rugby player. Now he's a UFC fighter. He's stepping in for the rematch on 10 days' notice, which I'm sure you can imagine in the fighting
Oh, yeah.
world is pretty crazy.
Normally, aren't they like 6 months
Yeah,
out?
Yeah,
Stuff
like
like
they
that?
have a lot of time.
But this guy's just always prepped, so it's like not that crazy for him to just jump in. And yeah, the first fight was the biggest test that this Islam guy has ever had, so people are excited. But I personally think Islam is gonna beat him.
I don't know. I don't know yet. I have to dive deeper into it, but I think it's gonna be
It's gonna be a good fight.
And the other the co-main event got changed as well. Now it's Usman.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
He hasn't fought in a while. He hasn't fought since he got knocked out.
Yeah.
Or no, he didn't get knocked out.
No,
he just
he
lost to
lost to-
Leon
yeah.
the second time.
I thought that was a kind of a toss-up one though.
Yeah.
I think,
But I mean, you got to beat the champ
yeah,
to beat
you
the
gotta
champ.
beat him, yeah.
But no, that's enough. I won't put you through any more of that, Ben.
That's fine.
Oh my god.
Mia, segue us to something else.
Okay. Well, we're going to be playing our game this week, and it's going to be one has to go. So I'm going to give you 4 names, and you guys have to figure out which one has to go.
Okay.
So
I have a feeling like I was gonna ask for more explanation, but I feel like it'll make sense once you start going somehow.
I'm pretty sure you've
Pick
done
3.
this game.
Yeah.
Pick 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pick-
like
yeah,
which
Yeah,
one
one
of these
has
has
to
to
go.
Oh, okay.
One has to
One
go.
of them,
Oh,
you
okay,
gotta-
okay. Like those
So-
Instagram
Start,
memes.
start,
Yeah.
start, trade, cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can we
okay.
make it that?
But there's 4.
Start, trade, cut.
I kind of like. I think one has to go
Fire
makes
into
it
the
harder on you if they're
Start,
4 good
bench,
options.
trade, cut.
Start, bench, trade, cut.
Okay.
Start, bench, trade, cut.
Yeah.
What's worse, trading or cutting? Cutting, obviously.
Cutting.
Okay. Well, we're going to start
Yeah.
with wide receivers. So we have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and then Devontae Adams.
Can we just get rid of trade?
Start,
Or no, we can keep trade. Go for it though.
start, Tyreek, bench, Jettas, cut the other 2. I don't care.
I would go start Jetta because I think he's. I don't know. You can't. It's hard to say that because Tyreek is so good, and just saying bench Tyreek sounds so stupid. And then I guess I'd go. It's so disrespectful to say cut Devontae Adams, but I mean at this
I
point
think
it's a
he's
cut
the clear
Devontae
four.
Adams.
Right?
Easy for
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd trade Jamar, I guess.
I'm gonna let's see. I'll start Justin Jefferson. I'll bench Jamar Chase, and I'll trade Tyreek Hill because he has the most trade value, and we can get more back for him.
And he's older.
Wow, that's a business
Think
move
about
right
it.
there.
I'm gonna go full Mike McDaniel with my offense. That's why I want Tyreek.
Did you guys
Fierce
hear?
speed on the
Did you guys hear McDaniel's story about how he got Tyreek? He was like, they were ready to give like a lot
Yeah.
for him, and I didn't like. It was kind of cool to hear that because I kind of was interested to see how like the league valued him because you know what I mean, like
Oh, super high.
right. But they were like, yeah, we'll do any. He was pretty much like, we'll do anything to get this guy.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But
Okay, well, we're moving on to running backs. We have Nick Chubb
With a knee
Cut.
or without a knee?
Yeah.
with a knee,
How
with a
many?
knee,
him.
with a knee. Act like the injury didn't happen.
I don't know if we
Okay.
can do that.
It's like-
You can't mentally do
Can we
that.
just
like
put
a-
a different
I've
one
got,
in
like-
there?
Okay, different one.
If I'm
Okay,
thinking about him for next year, it's like he's a 28-year-old running back
With
coming
2
off a
more-
catastrophic knee injury. I don't
Okay,
know.
whatever.
It's gonna
Okay,
be hard not to cut him.
Yeah,
Okay, whatever.
I love him.
We could just do 3 names with this one and we'll do start bench cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. Josh Jacobs,
Mm.
Christian McCaffrey,
Mm.
and then Jamar Gibbs.
That is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs.
The easiest, like,
Yeah, that one
like
was a
what
little
is this?
easy.
Start McCaffrey, yeah.
I think we're gonna have a consensus on
Bench
this one.
Gibbs, cut Jacobs, or
Really?
bench
I think I'd-
Jacobs, cut Gibbs.
I was
yeah.
gonna cut Gibbs even as a
Yeah.
Lions
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah, he just hasn't done
Potential,
it
I'm
yet.
I
thinking about
guess.
my Tyreek-centric offense.
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
Yeah, I'll keep Gibbs because then I need him for later with the
With the rebuild.
with the trade assets I got from
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
I don't know. Now I'm the only Lions fan here. Or I'm not the only Lions fan. Ben's a Lions fan, but I'm cutting Gibbs. I don't like how I feel. But nah, sorry, Gibbs. Sorry, that's it. Sorry.
Okay, and then moving on to tight ends. Cole Kemet. I don't know that's how you say his name.
Yep.
Dalton Schultz.
Okay.
David No,
And Joku.
that one. And then Dallas Gobert. Godart?
Gobert.
Got it.
Goddard.
Gogurt.
I don't know how to
Goddard.
say his last name. Sorry.
It's okay.
It'd be like
Can I go
so.
cut all
you
four?
No, I just started Goddard.
No tight ends.
Was Goddard bad?
Yeah,
He's
Goddard scored
good.
a touchdown last week.
I was gonna say I thought he was like one of the best tight ends in the league.
Oh, I thought you said back. Is he?
No, yeah.
bad.
I would
They're
start him.
all mid.
Yeah.
They're all mid.
Can I cut all
They're
four?
all like exactly average tight ends, and
Yeah.
I don't know what one of them adds to your offense that another
Why?
doesn't.
What did people? No, Goddard's not average. He's slightly above average. No, he made some big catches in that Super Bowl.
I don't know.
I'd start
The
Goddard.
Eagles don't use him like he's above average, so
What
I'm not going to
about
treat him like he's above average.
Kelsey, Laporta, and Andrews.
Oh, you gotta cut
Start
Laporta.
start Kelsey. I don't know.
I don't know. Andrews
Are we
hasn't
playing
been great
potential
this year.
game, or are we playing this year? Like,
Laporta's been really good.
Andrews
Yes.
on a points per game, I believe, is the tight end one.
really?
Yeah,
I've had him.
But he's-
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that.
he maybe it's like tight end 2 in points per game, but he missed a couple weeks. That's why
Yeah,
his fantasy
yeah, I
looks
guess
so
so.
bad.
No, I don't know. I guess
Or 1
potentially
week?
speaking. I don't know. It's really hard for me to buy stock in Lions, but it's hard for me to look in the future. I'm just enjoying the now right now.
That's what you should do as a
Yeah.
sports fan. You shouldn't
Yeah.
live in what
I don't
are we
wanna
gonna
worry
do
about what
next year?
contracts we're gonna have to
watch
pay
the game
and-
on Sunday. That's what it's.
God, I
about.
hate being 4-1. We're gonna have a terrible draft
Oh,
pick.
Straight up.
Yeah, we're gonna have the
That's how the
28th
people in our group chat are. Like, I was like, what are we doing right now? I was like,
We're gonna be in cap hell because all our players are good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sign Jared Goff to a like 30 million.
Oh no,
Like,
we're gonna have to
man.
pay players.
yeah, like just. And you're not. It's not like, oh, I gotta pay this guy. Like
I woke up to a text saying we ain't doing crap with Goff. I
You're
was
not.
like,
It's like it's not a new stadium.
That's-
Like it's not coming out of your
That's
pocket.
the thing. I don't. When
you believe in that?
I
still?
have, especially with over the summer with the Jaylen Brown contract, because he's now the highest paid NBA player. Like, you're not paying him, and
Yeah.
if it didn't make sense financially for the organization, the owners are smart. They're not going to give money that's not worth the player. The player probably makes them $100 million per year, and then they only get 30.
Right, like, it's-
that's
You know how many Harvard or Ivy educated economics guys
Yeah.
every professional sports franchise
Like,
has working
sports
for them?
franchises-
Like, I'm sure they know the math
it's
better than
hard
we
to
do.
imagine, but sports franchises end the year making money, so
Oh,
they can
yeah.
they can give money to players.
Just
It's
think
it's
about how much
crazy
money.
concept.
Think about
It's
how
a
much
crazy
money
concept.
they make to be able to give out these contracts without thought.
Exactly.
That should just make you realize, like, don't care. Like, you
Yeah.
don't. Like, remember when Matthew Stafford was the highest paid quarterback a couple years ago, and the
Yeah.
Detroit fans were like, "Wow!"
Well,
It's like, who cares?
It's not my money.
Okay, well,
Actually, it's the money I'm giving. Like,
Yeah.
I've already given that money. Spend it on the people I
Going
want.
to worse
instead of, like-
places.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
okay, well, back to the game. We'll do a basketball one. We're doing point guards. So, okay, we'll do.
Pick some easy names for yourself.
They're not. None of them are easy. So we're just gonna
I'm
go
really
for it.
interested to see what names are.
If you had the list before this, these
No.
are professional athletes, and you could just look up how to pronounce their name.
I mean,
do
Stephen
have-
Curry is an easy one, but
Who's messing you up right now?
Yeah. What?
do you want to try that?
Shay?
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shit.
Oh, it's Shay. You just
I
get
just
it
shot
wrong.
Shay.
You
I
just
feel
get it
like
wrong.
people, yeah,
Just say
people do
SGA.
say both.
That's easy.
Do people just call him Shay?
SGA,
No, it's.
SGA.
his
It's
initials.
his
Oh,
Yeah.
his name. I was like, that's not how you spell his name.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Anyways,
So, him.
So Shea, Steph,
him, Jay Morant,
Ja Morant.
John Morant, and then Damian Lillard's easy. So
Okay.
This is like, I mean, this is gonna make me think a little bit, I guess. Can I go first?
Sure.
I'll start Curry. SGA is so good, but I mean, no, I'm not gonna put him second. This is how I see it. Like, I'm not gonna base this off potential. I'm gonna base this on who's gonna help the teams win right now. I'm gonna go Steph, Ja, Dame. No, I'm gonna go Steph, Ja, SGA, Dame.
All right. I'm gonna go Steph at the 1. I'm not gonna. Do I have to bench him or can I just?
I'm just ranking them.
Can I just have him play shooting guard for my team?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that, and then Ja, he's already suspended quarter of the year. He's cut.
Yeah.
He's out of there, and then
We're thinking
I'll
like
trade
that.
Damian Lillard because then I can get DeAndre Ayton on my team.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. now I got a big.
Now I have a team with Steph,
Yeah.
SGA, and Ayton. That's a pretty good big three.
Yeah. Start Steph. I guess bench. Dame. Ja is prison.
Yeah.
Cut Shea, Ja prison. That's my 4.
Free Ja.
Bro, do not free Ja.
let's keep
Ja has
him-
been
Free
free.
let's keep him
Ja.
in there.
Ja has been
He might
so
deserve
free. Ja's had a little too much freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, and then last one we'll do pitchers. We'll do a baseball one. We'll do pitchers. So, this might be hard for Yousef, but he can just pick random.
I'll just do it off vibes.
Okay, Kevin Guzman,
Osman.
Gosman, whatever.
I was gonna say who's Kevin Goose.
Gosman, Spencer Strider, Luis Castillo,
Castillo.
Castillo.
Come on, you're the one from LA.
That's actually so true. That one you don't have an excuse with.
George Kirby.
All right, this can you?
This is a very
These are
random-
like
They're listed.
they're not
one,
remotely in the same tier.
they're listed as
I
like
know,
the
they're all
top
good.
ones.
Spencer Strider is gonna win the Cy Young
They're
this year.
they're literally listed as the
Or-
best
No, he's not. I
pitchers.
think
in
No,
it's
the-
he's
Snell.
not. He's not. Snell is. Yeah, he's gonna finish second, and he won it last year, if I'm not.
You act like I'm
mistaken.
making
No?
up this list. They're literally listed as the top people in the league.
Who did win then?
I thought.
No,
Strider
it wasn't
did.
Strider.
Oh, it was Alcantara.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
He was not good this year.
No.
Torn UCL.
Yeah.
Tommy John.
Tommy John.
It's a shame.
It is. The Marlins really are good at producing pitchers. Anyway.
Yeah. Back to the game.
I mean, I'm
I'll
gonna
start
start Strider.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And then I'll bench. I like George Kirby a lot. He has really good stuff. And then trade Gosman and cut. Or actually no. Cut Gosman. Yeah, cut Gosman.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Start Strider, bench Castillo, trade Kirby, cut Gosman.
Why was that just like all the Seattle Mariners and then Strider?
Yeah, it was.
Or at
Oh.
like one point they were.
Interesting.
They would. Yeah,
Because
other than
Gosman's-
Strider, they all played for.
The Mariners?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Can I show this picture to the podcast?
Sure. Just point it to
Is
the.
that the thing Spiro tweeted?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta let it.
Yeah, we can just cut this
Yeah.
if it doesn't work. But
Oh,
I
there, I
think
got
that's
it.
really
I got
funny.
it.
Tim, look at this.
I love
Is this
my
what we're
city.
ending on? Winnie the Pooh.
You saw it earlier?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know
okay.
why I'm acting
Well,
like we
I
all follow
have-
different people on MSU Twitter.
I have one more thing.
That was Spiro,
Because.
right?
Oh. No.
No,
Oh,
because
what is
tomorrow.
this?
Because
Wow.
tomorrow's my birthday.
Tomorrow's your
Happy
birthday?
birthday!
Yeah.
Your
Happy
October
birthday.
birthday?
Yeah.
What? What's tomorrow?
Her birthday.
No,
What's tomorrow?
12. We have a birthday 2 weeks apart.
You're
Well,
Scorpio though.
2 weeks and 1 day. Yeah.
Anyways, I brought cupcakes.
No, can I sing?
No way.
Yeah, sure.
Happy birthday to you.
Went way too pretty with that.
You don't like it? What?
No, keep going.
Nah, I
Keep
mean,
going.
you just
Come on, Frank.
pretty much said I sucked. So
Sinatra.
I guess I'll just eat my cupcake and be
Sing
sad
it,
now.
Sinatra. Let's go.
Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
Woo.
Would
Okay.
have sounded better with the headphones on, Ben. Is that the end of the pod?
Yep. Woo.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Waterboys. Hopefully you guys aren't getting sick of listening to us. Love you guys.
Such a Harlan Bennett way to end it. Hey guys, don't transfer, please.
Nah, but for real, don't.
Bye.